Change is an inevitable part of life, yet many struggle with the idea of stepping into the unknown. It is not the change itself that creates resistance, but the inability to fully embrace its possibility before it manifests. Acting as if the change is already yours is a profound practice that shifts your inner world to align with your desires. This is not a superficial act of pretending, but a deliberate and conscious embodiment of the state of being you wish to achieve. By living in the consciousness of already having what you desire, you begin to transform your reality from within. The process of acting as if requires imagination, faith, and persistence. Imagination allows you to see beyond your current circumstances. Faith strengthens your belief in the unseen, and persistence ensures you remain steadfast in your conviction. Together, these elements create a powerful force that reshapes the fabric of your life. When you act as if the change is already yours, you no longer dwell on lack or limitation. Instead, you begin to radiate the energy of abundance and fulfillment, drawing experiences and opportunities that align with your vision. Many misunderstand this principle, believing it to be a denial of reality. On the contrary, it is an acknowledgement of the higher truth that your inner state precedes and shapes your external world. By assuming the feeling of the change you desire, you are planting seeds in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. These seeds, when nurtured with consistency and belief, grow into tangible outcomes that reflect the very essence of your imagination. This is not wishful thinking, it is the deliberate application of a universal law. Your willingness to embody the change before it appears creates a ripple effect that extends far beyond what you can see. The world begins to respond to your newfound confidence and clarity, opening doors that once seemed closed. This is the magic of acting as if it empowers you to step into the role of the creator of your own destiny. When you trust in the process and live as though your desires are already fulfilled, you align yourself with the flow of infinite possibilities. To embrace the feeling of fulfillment is to step into the emotional and mental state of having already achieved your desire. This is not merely a mental exercise, it is a full-bodied experience where your emotions, thoughts, and imagination come into perfect alignment with your desired reality. The feeling of fulfillment is the bridge between where you are and where you wish to be. It transcends the need for external validation and allows you to connect with your desired outcome on an intimate and profound level. This feeling becomes the cornerstone upon which your new reality is built. The key to mastering this principle lies in your ability to vividly imagine the state you wish to embody. Imagination is not just a passive tool, it is the gateway to creation. When you close your eyes and picture the life you want, go beyond the visuals and delve into the sensations. What does it feel like to wake up in your dream home, to hold the hand of your soulmate, or to step into a career you love? Allow the emotions to flood you as if these experiences were happening in the present moment. This emotional immersion is the very act of fulfillment. It is important to recognize that the mind cannot distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. When you immerse yourself in the feeling of already having your desire, your subconscious mind begins to accept it as true. This shifts your vibrational state, aligning you with the frequency of your desired reality. As you persist in this feeling, you will notice subtle shifts in your thoughts, actions, and the way you approach your daily life. This is the essence of living from the end, aligning your inner state with the external reality you wish to create. Embracing the feeling of fulfillment also requires a level of faith and trust in the unseen. It is easy to doubt the process when the physical world has yet to reflect the change you seek. However, it is in these moments of doubt that you must double down on your practice. Faith is the fuel that keeps the engine of your imagination running. When you trust that the unseen is just as real as the seen, you give yourself permission to remain in the state of fulfillment, regardless of external circumstances. This unwavering commitment to your inner state is what ultimately brings about the change. The practice of fulfillment can be further enhanced by engaging your senses in the process. For example, if your desire is financial abundance, imagine the feeling of holding a check with your desired amount or hearing the sound of your name being called in a moment of recognition. If your dream is to travel the world, visualize yourself feeling the sand beneath your feet, smelling the ocean breeze, and hearing the sounds of distant waves. The more sensory details you incorporate, the more real the experience becomes in your mind, strengthening the connection between you and your desired state. It is also crucial to cultivate a sense of gratitude as part of this practice. Gratitude amplifies the energy of fulfillment by shifting your focus to what is already abundant in your life. As you imagine the realization of your desire, express heartfelt gratitude, as if it has already come to pass. You feel thankful not only for the outcome, but also for the journey and the growth it brings. Gratitude creates a powerful resonance within you, enhancing your ability to remain anchored in the state of fulfillment, even in the face of challenges. One of the most profound aspects of this practice is the sense of peace it brings. When you truly embrace the feeling of fulfillment, you no longer feel the need to strive or struggle. There is a calm assurance that everything you desire is already yours, unfolding in its perfect time and way. This peace allows you to move through life with confidence and joy, free from the anxiety of when or how your desire will manifest. It is a state of surrender, not to circumstances, but to the power of your inner vision. This practice is not something you do once and forget. It is a way of living, a daily commitment to aligning with the reality you wish to create. Each time you embrace the feeling of fulfillment, you strengthen your connection to your desired outcome and reaffirm your role as the creator of your experience. This feeling becomes your compass, guiding your actions and decisions with clarity and purpose. To visualize the end clearly is to create a mental blueprint of the reality you desire to experience. This is not about vague daydreaming or scattered wishes. It is a focused, intentional act of seeing your life exactly as you want it to be. When you visualize the end clearly, you give your mind a precise destination, a clear image that serves as a magnet for your thoughts, feelings, and actions. This image becomes your guiding star, pulling you forward with an irresistible force, even when the outer world seems unchanged. Begin by crafting a vivid picture of your desired outcome. Close your eyes and imagine the scene in as much detail as possible. Where are you? What do you see around you? What are you wearing? And how do you feel in this moment of realization? Allow the image to come alive in your mind, vibrant and rich with sensory details. The clearer and more specific the vision, the more powerful it becomes. Your imagination is the canvas, and you are the artist painting a reality that is already yours in the unseen. In this process, engage all your senses to make the visualization as real as possible. See the colors, the shapes, and the movements within the scene. Hear the sounds that accompany your experience, whether it's the applause of a crowd, the laughter of loved ones, or the serene silence of nature. Feel the textures beneath your hands, the warmth of the sun on your skin, or the cool breeze in the air. The more senses you involve, the more tangible the vision becomes, and the stronger its pull on your subconscious mind. It is crucial to place yourself at the center of your visualization. You are not an observer watching from the outside. You are an active participant fully immersed in the experience. Imagine yourself walking, speaking, and interacting within this reality as though it is already happening. Notice how your posture changes, how your voice sounds, and how you carry yourself in this state of accomplishment. This direct involvement deepens your connection to the vision, reinforcing the belief that it is not something outside of you, but a reality you are already living. When you visualize the end clearly, ensure that your emotions are aligned with the imagery. It is not enough to see the outcome, you must feel it. Allow yourself to experience the joy, gratitude, and excitement of having achieved your desire. These emotions are the fuel that energizes your vision and propels it into manifestation. The more intensely you feel these emotions, the more your subconscious mind accepts the vision as truth, paving the way for its realization in the physical world. This practice is most effective when done consistently. Make it a daily ritual, a sacred time when you connect with your inner vision. Choose moments of quiet reflection when your mind is most receptive, such as early in the morning or before sleep. As you visualize, let the scene play out naturally, like a movie unfolding in your mind. Avoid forcing details or doubting the process. Simply trust in the power of your imagination to create and attract what you desire. As you persist in visualizing the end clearly, you may notice subtle shifts in your thoughts, feelings, and actions. You begin to think from the end, making choices, and taking steps that align with your envisioned reality. This alignment is not accidental. It is the result of your subconscious mind working in harmony with your conscious desires. The vision you hold becomes a silent guide, influencing your decisions and drawing opportunities that match its frequency. One of the most powerful aspects of visualization is its ability to bridge the gap between the seen and the unseen. It allows you to tap into the infinite possibilities that exist beyond your current circumstances. Even when the outer world presents challenges, your inner vision remains unshaken, serving as a reminder of the reality you are creating. This mental clarity becomes a source of strength, enabling you to navigate obstacles with confidence and purpose. The clearer your vision, the more magnetic its pull on your reality. When you visualize the end clearly, you are not just imagining a possibility, you are creating a certainty. By holding this vision in your mind and heart, you set into motion the forces necessary to bring it into being. This is the art of creation, a process that begins within you and unfolds in perfect harmony with your unwavering belief. To speak in alignment with your desire is to consciously use your words as instruments of creation, shaping your reality with intention and clarity. Words are far more than sounds. They carry energy, meaning, and vibration. Every word you speak either reinforces the state you wish to embody or undermines it. When you align your speech with your desires, you declare to yourself and to the world that your vision is already real, not as a future hope, but as a present truth. This alignment bridges the gap between thought and reality, solidifying your intention in the physical world. The process begins with awareness. Pay close attention to the words you use in everyday conversation, especially when discussing your goals, challenges, or circumstances. Do your words reflect faith in your desires, or do they dwell in doubt and limitation? For example, instead of saying, "I hope I'll achieve this one-day shift," to "I am grateful that this is already mine," the subtle difference in language creates a significant shift in energy. Speaking as if your desire is already fulfilled sends a powerful message to your subconscious mind, reinforcing the belief that your vision is a reality. It's important to avoid speaking from a place of lack or fear, as this can counteract your efforts to create the life you desire. Words like "I can't," "I don't have," or "it's impossible" carry vibrations that resonate with limitation. Instead, choose words that affirm your abundance and capability. Speak with confidence and conviction, even if your current circumstances appear contrary to your desires. By doing so, you train your mind to focus on possibilities rather than obstacles, aligning your energy with the reality you wish to experience. Another key aspect of speaking in alignment with your desire is to incorporate affirmations into your daily practice. Affirmations are powerful statements that declare your intention and reinforce your belief in its manifestation. These should be spoken in the present tense, as though your desire is already accomplished. For instance, if your goal is financial freedom, you might say, "I am financially abundant and attract wealth effortlessly." Repeat these affirmations with feeling and sincerity, allowing the words to resonate deeply within you. Over time, these declarations become imprinted in your subconscious, influencing your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Your speech should also reflect gratitude, one of the highest vibrational states you can embody. When you express gratitude for your desires as though they are already realized, you amplify their presence in your life. Speak words of thanks not only for the outcome, but also for the journey and the growth it brings. For example, "I am so grateful for the opportunities that continue to unfold for me," creates a sense of joy and fulfillment, reinforcing your alignment with abundance. Gratitude elevates your vibration and deepens your connection to your desired reality. Equally important is the tone and intention behind your words. Speaking in alignment with your desire is not about forced positivity or hollow declarations. It is about authenticity and conviction. Your words must come from a place of genuine belief and emotional resonance. If you find it challenging to fully embrace this belief, start small. Begin with statements that feel true to you, such as "I am open to receiving my desires," or "I trust the process of creation." As your confidence grows, your speech will naturally become more aligned with your vision. Additionally, be mindful of the conversations you engage in with others. Surround yourself with people who support and uplift your vision, and steer clear of discussions that reinforce doubt or negativity. When sharing your goals and aspirations, speak with enthusiasm and certainty. Let your words inspire others while also reinforcing your own belief. Remember, every interaction is an opportunity to reaffirm your alignment with your desire, whether through spoken words or even through silent inner dialogue. Speaking in alignment also requires patience and persistence. There may be moments when your current reality feels far from your envisioned state, tempting you to speak words of frustration or defeat. Resist this urge and instead reaffirm your commitment to your desire. Every word you speak is a seed planted in the fertile soil of your subconscious. Nurture these seeds with care, trust, and consistency, knowing that they will eventually grow into the tangible experiences you seek. Your words, when aligned with your desire, become a declaration of your faith in the unseen and your commitment to the process of creation. They are a powerful affirmation of your role as the architect of your reality. By speaking in alignment, you step into the energy of your desired state, harmonizing your inner world with the outer reality you are creating. This practice transforms your speech from a mere expression of thought into a potent tool for manifestation. To take actions inspired by the change is to align your external efforts with the internal reality you have already envisioned. It is a process that requires intentionality, trust, and responsiveness to the impulses of your imagination. Inspired actions differ from mere busy work or efforts born of desperation. They are deliberate steps that resonate with the state of having already achieved your desire. Each action, no matter how small, becomes a bridge connecting your inner vision to your outer world, solidifying the reality you seek to experience. Inspired action begins with clarity of intent. When you hold a clear picture of the change you desire and live in the feeling of its fulfillment, the path forward reveals itself naturally. These actions are not forced or planned from a place of pressure. Instead, they arise as a natural extension of your belief. A nudge to make a call, an idea to pursue a project, or an urge to move in a specific direction, these are the sparks of inspiration that guide you. Paying attention to these subtle cues is key, as they often arrive quietly without fanfare or drama. Taking inspired action requires a deep sense of trust in your intuition. Your mind may not always comprehend why a particular step feels right, but your inner knowing guides you toward opportunities that align with your vision. When you trust this inner guidance, you act without hesitation, moving forward with confidence, even when the outcome is unclear. This trust allows you to step outside your comfort zone, explore new possibilities, and embrace opportunities that resonate with the reality you are creating. Equally important is the willingness to act boldly, even when the actions seem unconventional or illogical by conventional standards. Inspired actions often defy the linear path and instead follow a flow dictated by your imagination and faith. You might find yourself taking a leap of faith, reaching out to someone you've never met, or investing time and energy in a venture that feels right, even if it lacks immediate guarantees. These steps, though unpredictable, carry the energy of alignment and are often the ones that lead to breakthroughs. As you take inspired actions, it is vital to remain unattached to the outcome of any single step. Your focus should not be on whether a particular action yields immediate results, but on staying true to the state of having already achieved your desire. Each action you take, no matter how small, contributes to the unfolding of your vision in ways you may not yet understand. Trust in the process and recognize that the timing and sequence of events are orchestrated by a force greater than logic. In taking inspired action, embrace a mindset of curiosity and experimentation. View each step as an opportunity to learn, grow, and refine your approach. Not every action will lead to immediate success, but each one will provide valuable insights that bring you closer to your desired reality. By maintaining this perspective, you transform setbacks into stepping stones and remain open to the infinite possibilities that lie ahead. Another crucial aspect of inspired action is consistency. While the actions themselves may vary, your commitment to moving forward must remain steady. Even when the path feels uncertain, continue to act in alignment with your vision. This persistence sends a powerful message to your subconscious mind, reinforcing your belief in the inevitability of your desired change. The more consistently you act from this state of alignment, the more momentum you build, accelerating the manifestation of your vision. Taking inspired action also requires patience and flexibility. Sometimes the opportunities that arise may seem unrelated to your immediate goal, yet they often serve as pivotal steps toward its fulfillment. Stay open to the unexpected and trust that every action, even the ones that appear unrelated, plays a role in the larger picture. This openness allows you to adapt to changing circumstances and seize opportunities that might otherwise go unnoticed. As you continue to take inspired actions, you align yourself more deeply with the energy of your desired state. Each step reinforces your belief in the reality you are creating, making it feel increasingly natural and attainable. Over time, these actions transform your outer world to reflect the inner vision you hold, bridging the gap between imagination and experience. By taking inspired actions, you become an active participant in the creative process, demonstrating your faith in the unseen and your commitment to living the life you have envisioned. Cultivating a gratitude mindset is one of the most transformative practices you can adopt to align with the reality you desire. Gratitude is more than a fleeting emotion or polite response. It is a state of being that amplifies your connection to abundance and fulfillment. When you operate from a mindset of gratitude, you affirm that the blessings in your life, including those not yet seen, are already yours. This affirmation creates a vibrational match with your desires, making their manifestation not only possible but inevitable. The power of gratitude lies in its ability to shift your focus from what is missing to what is present. By intentionally directing your attention to the aspects of your life that you appreciate, you begin to notice an abundance that may have gone overlooked. This shift in perspective fosters a sense of contentment and joy, even in the midst of challenges. It trains your mind to see opportunities rather than obstacles, which in turn attracts more experiences that align with your elevated state of being. Gratitude is a tool that bridges your current reality with the vision of the life you wish to create. When you give thanks for your desires as if they are already realized, you signal to your subconscious mind that your vision is not something distant, but a present truth. For instance, if your goal is to manifest financial freedom, instead of focusing on lack, express gratitude for the abundance you are receiving. Say, "I am deeply thankful for the wealth and opportunities that flow effortlessly into my life." This act of giving thanks aligns your thoughts and emotions with the experience of having already achieved your goal. Incorporating gratitude into your daily routine is essential for cultivating this mindset. Begin and end each day by reflecting on what you are thankful for. This can be as simple as appreciating the warmth of the sun, the air you breathe, or the support of loved ones. By starting with small, tangible blessings, you build a foundation of gratitude that expands to include your loftiest aspirations. Over time, this practice becomes second nature, reshaping the way you perceive and interact with the world. Gratitude also enhances your emotional state, creating a powerful resonance with your desires. The feeling of gratitude is inherently uplifting, dissolving fear, doubt, and resistance. When you are truly thankful, you cannot simultaneously feel lack or limitation. This elevated emotional state not only makes you more receptive to opportunities, but also strengthens your belief in the possibility of your dreams. Gratitude becomes a magnet, drawing to you the people, circumstances, and resources needed to bring your vision to life. A gratitude mindset requires mindfulness and presence. It is easy to fall into the habit of taking things for granted or focusing solely on what is not yet achieved. By staying present and actively acknowledging the gifts of each moment, you deepen your connection to the abundance that already surrounds you. This presence helps you appreciate the journey as much as the destination, finding meaning and fulfillment in every step along the way. Expressing gratitude outwardly is another powerful way to cultivate this mindset. Share your appreciation with others, whether through kind words, gestures, or actions. Acknowledging the contributions of others not only strengthens your relationships, but also reinforces your own sense of abundance. The act of giving thanks creates a ripple effect, spreading positivity and enhancing the energy of everyone involved. This outward expression amplifies the gratitude within you, creating a continuous cycle of appreciation and alignment. Gratitude is also a form of surrender. It is a recognition that the universe is already working in your favor, orchestrating events and circumstances to support your highest good. By giving thanks, you release the need for control and trust in the process of creation. This surrender allows you to move through life with ease and confidence, knowing that everything is unfolding as it should. Cultivating a gratitude mindset does not mean ignoring challenges or pretending difficulties don't exist. Instead, it is about choosing to find the silver lining in every situation. Even in moments of struggle, there is something to be learned, appreciated, or acknowledged. By focusing on these positive aspects, you transform adversity into an opportunity for growth, strengthening your faith in your ability to create the life you desire. Gratitude, then, becomes not only a reflection of abundance, but also a tool for resilience and empowerment. Ignoring the evidence of the present is a powerful practice that allows you to transcend the limitations of your current circumstances and align with the vision you are creating. When you focus solely on what is visible in your life right now, you are allowing your current reality to dictate what is possible. However, the true power lies in recognizing that what you see before you is merely a reflection of past thoughts, beliefs, and actions. The present moment, with all its apparent challenges, is not a true reflection of the future that you are about to create. The habit of allowing present circumstances to determine your future is one that most people unconsciously fall into. It's easy to look at a bank account that seems empty or a relationship that feels distant and assume that these are permanent states. However, these conditions are simply temporary markers on your journey, and they do not define what is possible. By ignoring the evidence of the present, you can step into a mindset where anything is possible, where the reality you envision is not only possible, but already beginning to take shape. This practice requires a conscious decision to not allow the physical world to dictate your mental state. The world around you is not static, it is always shifting, responding to the vibration you offer. When you focus on what is lacking or what is wrong, you affirm that these things are real and true. Instead, choose to focus on your inner world, the vision, the emotions, the sense of fulfillment you have already cultivated in your imagination. These inner experiences are what will bring about the change in your outer world. When you recognize that the present is simply a byproduct of past beliefs, you free yourself from the constraints of your current situation. Ignoring the evidence of the present means that you stop relying on what you see, hear, or experience right now as proof of your potential. The physical evidence may be telling you that things are not as you want them, but the unseen forces of your imagination, belief, and faith are the true creators. These internal forces shape your world more powerfully than external evidence ever could. By ignoring what is in front of you and redirecting your focus to the truth of your desires, you are planting seeds in fertile ground that will eventually manifest as your new reality. It also means taking your attention off the doubts, fears, and judgments that arise from current conditions. When challenges appear, it's easy to feel defeated, to believe that the evidence in front of you means that your desires are unattainable. However, this is exactly the moment to remind yourself that the present is not the final word. The world of appearances is always temporary, and it has no bearing on the unshakable truth of your inner vision. By choosing to ignore the evidence of the present, you maintain the integrity of your vision, allowing it to unfold as your dominant reality. The key to ignoring the evidence of the present is unwavering faith. Faith is the bridge that connects your current circumstances with the future you are creating. It is the ability to believe in the unseen and to trust that what you are imagining is already on its way. This faith requires practice. It means not allowing the temporary conditions of your life to throw you off course or make you question the power of your imagination. Every time you feel tempted to react to what you see or experience, take a deep breath and refocus on the truth of your inner vision. The more you practice this, the easier it becomes to stay aligned with your desires. This process also involves the cultivation of patience. When you ignore the evidence of the present, you stop measuring progress based on immediate results. You understand that the manifestation process takes time, and that the seeds you are planting today will eventually bear fruit. This patience allows you to trust the unfolding of your vision, knowing that everything is working in your favor, even if it doesn't look like it yet. When you are patient with the process, you detach from the need for immediate gratification and allow the universe to work its magic in its own time. The practice of ignoring the evidence of the present is not about denying reality, but about recognizing that your true reality is shaped from within. What you see before you is not the final picture, it is just a snapshot of where you are right now, not where you are going. By choosing to ignore the current evidence and instead focus on the internal truth of your desires, you align with the forces that will bring your vision into physical form. This focus on the unseen, the unmanifested, is what makes the impossible possible and transforms the present moment into a stepping stone toward your ideal life. Persisting in your assumption is one of the most potent actions you can take to bring your desires into physical reality. It is not merely about holding a fleeting thought or fleeting belief about what you want. Persistence in your assumption means steadfastly maintaining the assumption that what you desire is already yours, regardless of external evidence or temporary setbacks. It is the art of planting a seed of belief deep within your subconscious mind and nurturing it, no matter how long it takes for the fruits of that belief to manifest. The power of persistence lies in the consistency of your assumption. To assume that you are already living the life you desire requires a disciplined and unwavering focus. It's easy to become distracted by external circumstances or doubts, especially when things do not seem to be moving in the direction you expect. However, when you persist in your assumption, you acknowledge that the external world is simply a reflection of past thoughts and actions, and that the internal state you cultivate today is what will shape tomorrow's reality. The key is to refuse to be swayed by anything other than the belief that your desires are already fulfilled. When you persist in your assumption, you are actively training your mind to ignore any contradictory evidence. Your assumption is not something to be questioned or doubted, but rather something to be fully embraced and accepted as truth. This persistence creates a state of mental coherence, where every thought, word, and action aligns with the vision you hold. You stop entertaining doubts, fears, or negative beliefs, because your assumption is the lens through which you view everything. The more consistently you persist, the more your assumption becomes ingrained in your subconscious, and the more powerful its effects will be on your reality. Persistence also means resisting the temptation to abandon your assumption when things seem difficult, or when the current evidence contradicts your desires. It is easy to give up when things don't appear to be going your way. However, persistence requires you to stay true to your assumption even in the face of adversity. Remember, what you see in the present moment is only temporary, and your current reality is simply a manifestation of past thinking. By persistently holding on to the assumption that you are already in possession of what you desire, you begin to shift your vibration to match that reality, and soon the external world will begin to reflect it. To persist in your assumption, you must have a deep trust in the process of creation. It requires a belief that the universe is working behind the scenes, orchestrating events and aligning circumstances to bring about your vision. This trust eliminates the need for constant effort or manipulation. You simply hold firm to your assumption, knowing that everything is unfolding perfectly. The more you persist in this belief, the more effortlessly the universe works to bring your desires into reality. The process of manifestation is not about forcing things to happen, but about staying aligned with your assumption and allowing the universe to do the heavy lifting. Persistence in your assumption also involves emotional discipline. It is not enough to simply think about your desires, you must also feel them as though they are already true. When you maintain a consistent emotional state that aligns with your assumed reality, you amplify the vibrational frequency that attracts what you want. Emotions are the fuel that powers your assumptions, so it is essential to cultivate feelings of joy, gratitude, and fulfillment as you persist in your assumption. The more you can emotionally embody your desired reality, the faster it will manifest. It's important to recognize that persistence in your assumption does not mean clinging to the outcome or becoming obsessed with how things will unfold. It is about maintaining a firm belief in the end result, while being open to the many ways in which it can manifest. This openness to the process is essential because it prevents you from becoming attached to a specific outcome or time frame. Trust in the fact that your assumption is already working, and that you are on the right path, even if you cannot yet see the physical evidence of it. The act of persisting in your assumption also involves a level of surrender. It is the surrender of control over how and when your desires will manifest. When you persist in the assumption that your desires are already fulfilled, you let go of the need to dictate every detail. You allow the universe to work in its own timing and its own way, trusting that everything is unfolding in perfect harmony. This surrender creates a sense of peace and allows your energy to flow more freely, removing resistance and allowing your desires to come into alignment with your life more effortlessly. Persistence in your assumption is a practice that requires patience, faith, and confidence. It is the foundation of all successful manifestations, as it directs your mental and emotional energy toward your desired outcome. By persistently assuming the feeling and reality of your desires, you ensure that they will eventually materialize in your physical world. Your assumption is a seed, and by nurturing it with consistent belief, emotional alignment, and trust, you guarantee that it will grow into a thriving, abundant reality. In conclusion, the process of manifesting your desires is not a matter of waiting for things to happen, but of aligning your inner world with the reality you wish to create. By acting as if the change you desire is already yours, you step into the power of assumption, shifting your beliefs, emotions, and actions in harmony with your desires. The more you persist in this assumption, the more you align with the future you are creating, ignoring the temporary evidence of the present and trusting the unseen forces at work in your life. As you embrace the feelings of fulfillment, visualize your end goal clearly, speak in alignment with your desires, and take inspired action, you set the stage for the manifestation process to unfold. Cultivating a mindset of gratitude ensures that you remain in a state of receptivity, amplifying your ability to attract what you seek. By ignoring the current circumstances and focusing on the truth of your inner world, you strengthen your ability to manifest with unwavering confidence. Through persistence in your assumption, you become the master of your reality, consistently reaffirming that the life you desire is already yours. It is not the world around you that dictates your future, it is the beliefs you hold, the feelings you nurture, and the actions you take that shape your destiny. Remember that every great change begins within, and as you persist in your assumption, you will witness the transformation of your world in ways that were once beyond your imagination. So trust in the process, remain aligned with your desires, and never waver from the assumption that everything you want is already on its way. The world will soon reflect the inner change you have created, and you will live the life you once only dreamed of. Success is not elusive, it's the natural outcome of aligning your vision with the right action. But most people fall short, not because they lack talent or resources, but because they miss a key step, the step that transforms potential into reality. Today, I want to share with you this pivotal truth that has the power to reshape your journey toward success. When we speak of success, most people focus entirely on external efforts, working harder, networking, or acquiring new skills. While these are undoubtedly important, they pale in comparison to the internal work that must precede them. The missing step that separates those who succeed from those who merely try is the awareness of assumption. Assumptions are the unseen architects of our reality, shaping every experience, opportunity, and limitation in our lives. What are assumptions? They are the deeply held beliefs that operate beneath your conscious awareness. These beliefs form the foundation of how you interpret the world, respond to challenges, and even envision your future. Every thought, action, and reaction stems from the assumptions you carry about yourself and your environment. For most, these assumptions are inherited, formed by upbringing, societal influences, and past experiences. Yet they are rarely examined. This is where the majority falter. Imagine someone who desires financial success, but assumes deep down that money is hard to come by, or that wealth is reserved for a select few. No matter how hard they work, these unexamined assumptions will sabotage their efforts. Their actions, no matter how diligent, will be guided by the belief that wealth is scarce, and they will unconsciously make decisions that affirm this belief. The outer struggle becomes fruitless because the inner foundation is flawed. To become aware of your assumptions, you must first pause and observe. What do you truly believe about success, love, health, or happiness? This requires an honesty that many avoid, as it often uncovers limiting beliefs that feel uncomfortable to confront. But this discomfort is the doorway to transformation. The moment you bring these assumptions to light, you begin to see how they have shaped your life. Take, for instance, someone who assumes they are not worthy of success. They may take the same steps as someone who believes they are destined for greatness, yet the outcomes will differ drastically. Why? Because the one who assumes unworthiness will unconsciously seek out rejection or failure to validate their belief, while the other will radiate confidence and attract opportunities that affirm their assumption of worthiness. The power of assumption lies in its ability to act as a silent director of your experiences. It filters the infinite possibilities available to you and highlights only those that align with your beliefs. This is not magic, it is the natural law of focus and alignment. Your brain is wired to seek evidence that supports what you already believe. Awareness of this process is the key to breaking free from the limitations of old assumptions and consciously creating new ones. Consider how assumptions influence your daily life. If you assume that people are untrustworthy, you will approach relationships guardedly, and your interactions will reflect this mistrust. Conversely, if you assume that people are inherently kind, you will approach others with openness and warmth, creating relationships that mirror this assumption. The same principle applies to success. Assume that opportunities are abundant, and you will begin to notice them everywhere. Assume that life is full of obstacles, and you will find them at every turn. Awareness of assumption is not a one-time realization, it is an ongoing practice. Every day your mind will offer thoughts and beliefs that stem from past conditioning. Your task is to observe these thoughts without judgment and ask, does this assumption serve the reality I wish to create? If the answer is no, you have the power to replace it with a new assumption, one that aligns with your desired outcome. For example, if you find yourself assuming that success takes decades of struggle, pause and challenge that belief. Remind yourself that success can come swiftly and effortlessly when you are aligned with your purpose. Begin to assume that you are always in the right place at the right time, and watch how opportunities begin to flow into your life. This process of becoming aware of your assumptions requires patience and persistence. At first, the old beliefs may seem immovable, but with consistent attention and practice, they begin to dissolve. Replacing them with empowering assumptions creates a new mental framework, one that supports your goals rather than undermines them. It is essential to understand that assumptions do not merely influence your thoughts, they shape your emotions and actions as well. When you assume success is inevitable, you naturally carry yourself with confidence. This confidence attracts others who resonate with your belief, opening doors you never imagined possible. On the other hand, when you assume failure, your energy reflects doubt, and people respond accordingly. The shift begins with awareness, recognizing that every moment is an opportunity to examine and reshape your assumptions. As you do this, you will notice subtle changes in your behavior, your interactions, and the opportunities that come your way. This is not coincidence, it is the natural result of aligning your inner world with the reality you wish to experience. Assumptions are the foundation of everything you achieve or fail to achieve. They are the silent forces that guide your life, often without your conscious awareness. To succeed, you must bring them to light, examine them honestly, and replace the limiting ones with empowering beliefs. Only then will you unlock the true potential within you. Before any great achievement, there must first be clarity. Clarity is the cornerstone of manifestation, the starting point where intention begins to take form. Without clarity, your energy is scattered, your actions are misaligned, and your results fall short of your desires. Most people who struggle to achieve their goals are not hindered by a lack of ability, but by the absence of a clear vision. The mind, like a lens, must be focused to magnify and direct the energy necessary for success. Think of clarity as the blueprint of a building. No architect would begin construction without a detailed plan. Yet many approach life in precisely this way. They have vague ideas of what they want: more money, better relationships, greater happiness, but they lack the specifics. Vague desires produce vague results. Clarity is the act of defining what you truly want with precision, detail, and certainty. It transforms a wish into a target, something tangible for your mind to grasp and pursue. To gain clarity, you must first silence the noise of the external world. The opinions of others, societal expectations, and the distractions of daily life often cloud your ability to see your desires clearly. In this state of mental clutter, your true intentions remain buried beneath layers of indecision and doubt. Clarity demands introspection, a willingness to look within and ask, what do I truly want? What does success look and feel like to me? Clarity also requires honesty. Many people are afraid to admit their deepest desires, fearing judgment or failure. They settle for goals that feel safe or acceptable, rather than pursuing what truly sets their soul on fire. This fear creates a lack of alignment, where their outer actions do not match their inner truth. Clarity begins when you strip away the fear and allow yourself to acknowledge your desires without reservation. When you are clear about your goals, every part of you aligns with the vision you have created. Your thoughts, emotions, and actions begin to work in harmony, pulling you toward your desired outcome. Clarity acts as a magnet, attracting the resources, people, and opportunities necessary to bring your vision to life. But without clarity, your efforts are fragmented, and your results reflect that fragmentation. Consider the difference between a river that flows in a single direction and a flood that spreads in all directions. The river, focused and clear, carves its path with power and purpose. The flood, though vast, lacks direction and dissipates its energy. Your mind is no different. When you are clear about what you want, your mental energy flows like the river, unstoppable and purposeful. Visualization is a powerful tool for achieving clarity. To visualize is to create a mental image of your desired outcome, detailed and vivid. It is not enough to simply think about what you want. You must see it, feel it, and experience it in your mind as though it is already real. The clearer your visualization, the more your subconscious mind accepts it as truth, guiding your actions to align with that vision. Clarity also eliminates doubt and confusion. When you are unsure of what you want, indecision takes over, and opportunities pass you by. This indecision breeds frustration, leaving you feeling stuck and powerless. But when you are clear, you move with confidence and decisiveness. Every action you take feels purposeful, because it is guided by a well-defined vision. Furthermore, clarity gives you the ability to measure your progress. When your goals are clear, you can track your journey with precision. You know when you are on the right path and when adjustments are needed. This awareness keeps you focused and motivated, preventing you from straying into distractions or settling for less than you desire. It is also important to recognize that clarity evolves. What you desire today may not be what you desire tomorrow, and that is natural. Clarity is not a static state, but a dynamic process of continual refinement. As you grow, your vision grows with you, becoming more detailed and aligned with your highest self. Staying attuned to this evolution ensures that your actions remain in harmony with your deepest intentions. The act of gaining clarity is an act of creation. It is the process of shaping your inner world to reflect the life you wish to experience. When your vision is clear, your belief becomes unshakable, and your actions become unstoppable. Every great accomplishment begins with the moment you decide, with absolute clarity, what you want and why it matters to you. Belief is the fuel that drives every manifestation. It is the silent force that propels your desires into reality. Without belief, even the most detailed plans and the hardest work can falter. This is because doubt, when left unchecked, acts as a barrier that blocks the flow of opportunities and outcomes you seek. Belief, on the other hand, overrides doubt and creates a clear path for your vision to unfold. To understand the power of belief, consider its ability to influence your perception and actions. When you truly believe in the inevitability of your success, you operate with a sense of certainty. This certainty reshapes how you approach challenges, how you carry yourself, and how you interact with the world. It is this unshakable confidence that draws opportunities toward you and aligns your actions with your goals. Doubt, however, is the natural adversary of belief. It whispers in moments of vulnerability, questioning whether your dreams are too big or if you are deserving of what you desire. Doubt feeds on past failures, comparisons, and fears. But the truth is that doubt only holds power when you allow it to take root in your mind. The antidote to doubt is not resistance but replacement. You do not fight doubt, you dissolve it by affirming your belief with greater conviction. Belief is not merely a passive state of thinking, it is a dynamic process that involves feeling and acting as if your desired outcome is already true. When you believe deeply in your success, you exude an energy that others can sense. This energy, whether consciously or unconsciously, influences how people respond to you. They begin to see you as capable, confident, and worthy, mirroring back the belief you hold within. One of the most profound aspects of belief is its ability to persist in the absence of evidence. This is where most people falter. They look for signs and external validation before committing fully to their desires. But belief operates in the opposite way. It demands that you trust in your vision, even when the physical world has yet to catch up. This unwavering faith creates the conditions for manifestation, as it keeps your thoughts and actions aligned with your desired reality. Belief also shapes your self-image, which is the foundation of all success. But belief operates in the opposite way. It demands that you trust in your vision, even when the physical world has yet to catch up. This unwavering faith creates the conditions for manifestation, as it keeps your thoughts and actions aligned with your desired reality. Belief also shapes your self-image, which is the foundation of all success. If you believe you are capable, resilient, and deserving, your behavior will naturally reflect those qualities. You will take risks, pursue opportunities, and bounce back from setbacks because your belief in yourself is greater than any temporary obstacle. Conversely, if you doubt your worth or abilities, you will hesitate, procrastinate, and second-guess every decision, creating a self-fulfilling cycle of failure. To cultivate belief, you must first become aware of your thoughts and inner dialogue. Are your thoughts empowering or self-defeating? Do you speak to yourself with encouragement or criticism? Belief begins with the words you choose to feed your mind. Affirmations, when repeated with conviction, can reshape your internal narrative and strengthen your belief in what is possible. Visualization is another powerful tool for building belief. When you visualize your desired outcome, you engage your imagination in a way that feels real. Your mind cannot distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and reality, and this creates a sense of familiarity with your goal. The more you see yourself as successful in your mind, the more your belief grows, and the less room there is for doubt to creep in. Action is the bridge between belief and reality. Each small step you take reinforces your belief, proving to yourself that your vision is achievable. Even when the path is unclear, taking inspired action signals to your mind that you are committed to your goal. This commitment strengthens your belief and weakens the hold of doubt. It is also important to surround yourself with environments and people that support your belief. Doubt often arises when you are influenced by negativity, skepticism, or fear from others. Protecting your mental space and seeking out individuals who uplift and inspire you can amplify your belief and keep you focused on your vision. Belief transforms obstacles into stepping stones. When you believe in your ability to succeed, setbacks become lessons and challenges become opportunities for growth. This mindset keeps you resilient and persistent no matter what external circumstances arise. It allows you to navigate uncertainty with confidence, knowing that your faith in your vision is greater than any temporary difficulty. Doubt is a natural part of the human experience, but it does not have to define your journey. When you choose to cultivate belief, you take control of your narrative. You align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with your desired outcome, creating a momentum that doubt cannot derail. Belief, when unwavering, overrides every fear, every hesitation, and every limiting thought. Imagination is the silent architect that shapes the world around you. Every innovation, every breakthrough, and every great achievement began as a seed within someone's imagination. Before it was visible, it existed in the unseen realm of thought. Your imagination is the workshop where your desires take form, the blueprint from which your reality is constructed. Without imagination, the possibilities of your life remain unexplored, and your potential remains dormant. Imagination is not just a fleeting daydream or idle fantasy. It is the creative force that brings the invisible into the visible, the intangible into the tangible. It is within your imagination that you create the framework of the life you wish to experience. The clearer and more vivid your imagination, the more precise the reality you will build. Your thoughts are not empty, they are the raw material from which the fabric of your existence is woven. To truly grasp the power of imagination, consider the way it bypasses the limitations of the physical world. Imagination operates beyond the constraints of time, space, and circumstance. It allows you to envision a reality that may seem impossible in the present moment, granting you access to infinite possibilities. This is not escapism, it is creation in its purest form. What you consistently imagine with emotion and conviction begins to take shape in your life. Imagination works in harmony with belief, for it is within the realm of imagination that belief is nurtured. When you vividly imagine your desired outcome, you experience it internally as though it is already true. This inner experience strengthens your belief, dissolves doubt, and aligns your actions with the reality you have envisioned. Your imagination, when harnessed with intention, becomes the engine that guides your belief system and shapes your decisions. Visualization is the deliberate act of engaging your imagination to design your reality. It is not a passive exercise, but an active process of creation. When you visualize, you are not merely picturing your desires, you are immersing yourself in the experience of having them. You see the details, feel the emotions, and engage your senses as though your imagined reality is happening now. The more vivid and real this experience feels, the more your mind accepts it as truth. Imagination also influences the energy you radiate into the world. Every thought and image you hold in your mind carries a vibration, attracting experiences and opportunities that match its frequency. When you imagine abundance, joy, and success, you emit an energy that draws those very things toward you. Conversely, when you allow your imagination to dwell on fear, lack, or failure, you attract circumstances that mirror those thoughts. Your imagination is the thermostat of your reality, setting the conditions for what you will encounter. Imagination requires discipline and focus. The mind, left unchecked, tends to wander into negativity or mediocrity. Many people use their imagination unconsciously, replaying fears, doubts, and worst-case scenarios, unintentionally creating obstacles in their path. To harness the power of imagination, you must direct it with purpose. Train yourself to imagine what you want, not what you fear. Guard your mind as you would a garden, nurturing the thoughts that serve you and removing the weeds of limitation. Imagination also plays a critical role in problem solving and overcoming challenges. When faced with obstacles, your imagination allows you to see beyond the immediate problem to the solution. It enables you to envision new possibilities, alternatives, and paths forward. This creative thinking turns setbacks into stepping stones and empowers you to navigate uncertainty with confidence. The connection between imagination and emotion is profound. What you imagine with intensity and feeling has the greatest power to influence your reality. Emotion adds depth and substance to your imagination, making it more compelling and magnetic. When you imagine your desired outcome with joy, gratitude, and excitement, you create a resonance that accelerates its manifestation. Your imagination, infused with emotion, becomes a living, dynamic force. Imagination is also the key to reinventing yourself. No matter who you have been or what you have experienced, your imagination allows you to redefine your identity and your possibilities. It is through imagination that you can see yourself as successful, confident, and capable, even if your current circumstances suggest otherwise. By consistently imagining this version of yourself, you begin to embody it, and the external world responds accordingly. Ultimately, imagination is the origin of everything you experience. It is the silent architect that designs the structure of your life. What you imagine consistently and vividly, you bring into being. The question is not whether you are using your imagination, but how you are using it. To feel it real is to breathe life into the desires of your imagination. It is not enough to see the image of what you want in your mind. You must embody it, experience it, and live it internally before it manifests externally. Feeling is the bridge between thought and reality, the energy that transforms a mere idea into a tangible experience. Without feeling, your desires remain abstract, suspended in the realm of possibility, but disconnected from the world of form. Feeling it real requires immersing yourself fully in the emotional state of already having what you seek. It is the practice of aligning your emotions with the reality you wish to create, even when external evidence suggests otherwise. This is not pretending or acting. It is a deliberate choice to dwell in the vibration of fulfillment. When you feel something deeply, your subconscious mind accepts it as truth, and your outer world begins to conform to that truth. Imagine the difference between wanting something and already having it. Wanting carries an energy of lack, a sense of separation between you and your desire. Having, on the other hand, is filled with certainty, ease, and contentment. To feel it real is to shift from wanting to having, to move from hoping it will happen to knowing it already has. This shift in feeling is subtle but profound, and it is the key to collapsing the gap between where you are and where you want to be. Feeling it real requires vivid imagination coupled with emotional intensity. Begin by closing your eyes and envisioning your desired outcome in as much detail as possible. See yourself in the scene, living the life you aspire to create. But do not stop at the visuals, go deeper. How does it feel to achieve this? What emotions arise when you are living your dream? Joy, relief, gratitude, excitement. Immerse yourself in these feelings as if they are happening now. The body cannot distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and a physical one. When you feel something as real, your nervous system responds as though it is your current reality. This is why feelings are so powerful. They signal to your subconscious that the experience is already yours. Over time, your subconscious aligns your thoughts, beliefs, and actions to match this feeling, drawing circumstances and opportunities that reflect it. Feeling it real also transforms your relationship with time. Often people delay their happiness, tying it to some future event or achievement. They think, "I'll be happy when," and postpone living fully until their desires are fulfilled. But to feel it real is to embody the joy and gratitude of fulfillment now. By doing so, you release the sense of waiting or striving and step into a state of flow where manifestation happens naturally and effortlessly. Resistance can arise when external circumstances contradict the feelings you are cultivating. It is easy to be swayed by what your senses tell you, to doubt your vision when the physical world shows no signs of change. But feeling it real is a practice of inner conviction, not external validation. It requires you to trust the unseen, to remain rooted in your desired emotional state, regardless of what appears around you. Consistency is key. The more frequently you practice feeling it real, the stronger the connection becomes between your inner and outer realities. This does not mean you need to spend hours visualizing each day. Even a few minutes of deeply feeling your desired state can create powerful shifts. The goal is not to force or strain, but to immerse yourself in the natural ease of having what you desire. Feeling it real also requires detachment from the outcome. This may seem contradictory, but it is an essential part of the process. When you feel something as real, there is no desperation, no clinging to how or when it will manifest. You trust that it is already done, allowing the universe to unfold it in its perfect timing and way. Detachment frees you from the energy of lack and anchors you in the certainty of fulfillment. Pay attention to how feeling it real influences your daily actions and interactions. When you carry the emotional state of your fulfilled desire, you naturally exude confidence, positivity, and purpose. People are drawn to this energy, and opportunities seem to arise effortlessly. This is not coincidence. It is the alignment of your inner state with the external world. Your feelings are like a magnet. attracting everything that resonates with their frequency. Feeling it real is not a one-time event, it is a way of living. It is a commitment to inhabiting the emotional state of your dreams, moment by moment, until they crystallize into reality. By feeling it real, you become the architect, builder, and dweller of your desired life, shaping your world not by force, but by the gentle, persistent power of your emotions. The path to achieving your desires is not paved with relentless struggle, but with inspired action. This is one of the most misunderstood principles in creation. Many believe that achieving a goal requires exhaustive effort, sacrificing joy in favor of grinding through tasks that feel burdensome or forced. However, true creation flows from a different source, a place of inspiration, alignment, and ease. Taking inspired action means responding to the inner impulses that arise when you are in harmony with your desires. Inspired action is different from effort rooted in fear, doubt, or desperation. It does not arise from the belief that you must work hard to prove your worth or make things happen. Instead, it comes naturally, effortlessly, and often joyfully. Inspired action feels right in your heart and mind, as though it were the next logical step in the unfolding of your vision. It carries a sense of excitement and purpose, rather than obligation or resistance. The first step toward taking inspired action is cultivating inner alignment with your desire. When you feel as though your goal is already accomplished, you naturally start to act from that state of being. Your actions become a reflection of your fulfilled reality, rather than an attempt to force it into existence. For example, if you imagine yourself as successful and embody the feelings of confidence and clarity, you will naturally take actions that align with this state. These actions are not forced, they flow effortlessly from your belief in your success. Listening to your intuition is crucial in recognizing inspired action. The inner voice that nudges you toward certain ideas, decisions, or opportunities is often subtle but persistent. It may feel like a spark of curiosity, an urge to explore something new, or a sudden clarity about the next step. These moments of inspiration are your subconscious mind guiding you toward the path of least resistance. Acting on these impulses, no matter how small they seem, often leads to significant progress toward your desires. To contrast this with forced effort, which often stems from a sense of lack or urgency. Forced effort is characterized by overthinking, second-guessing, and trying to control every detail of the process. It is fueled by the fear that if you don't work hard enough, you won't achieve your goals. This approach drains your energy and creativity, leaving you feeling frustrated and disconnected from your vision. Forced effort focuses on the external struggle rather than the internal alignment that generates true momentum. Inspired action is also deeply connected to timing. When you are aligned with your desires, opportunities seem to present themselves at just the right moment. You do not have to chase or force things to happen. Instead, you respond to the flow of life as it unfolds. This is not passivity, but a state of receptivity, where you trust that the universe is orchestrating events in your favor. By acting when the timing feels right, you align your efforts with the natural rhythm of creation. Another key aspect of inspired action is the absence of resistance. When you take inspired action, there is a sense of clarity and certainty, even if the outcome is uncertain. You may not know exactly how things will unfold, but you trust the process. This trust frees you from the need to struggle or push against obstacles, allowing you to move forward with confidence and ease. It's important to note that inspired action is not always grand or dramatic. Often it is the small, consistent steps that lead to the greatest transformations. A phone call, a conversation, or a decision to try something new can create ripple effects that bring your vision closer to reality. These actions may seem insignificant at first, but their power lies in their alignment with your desired state. When you are in a state of inspired action, work no longer feels like work. It becomes a joyful expression of your inner vision. You find yourself energized, focused, and engaged, even in tasks that once seemed mundane. This is because you are no longer operating from a place of obligation, but from a place of passion and purpose. Inspired action aligns your inner state with your outer efforts, creating a synergy that propels you forward. Taking inspired action also invites collaboration with the universe. When you act from a place of alignment and trust, you'll open the door for unexpected opportunities, connections, and resources to come your way. These synchronicities are not accidents, they are the result of your vibrational alignment, drawing the right circumstances to support your journey. By acting on inspiration, you co-create with the universe, allowing your desires to unfold in ways beyond your imagination. Through inspired action, you align your efforts with the energy of creation, allowing your desires to manifest with greater ease and speed. It is not about doing more, but about doing what feels right. It is not about forcing outcomes, but about allowing the process to flow naturally. Inspired action bridges the gap between your inner vision and your outer reality, guiding you toward your goals with clarity, confidence, and joy. Persistence is the steady force that aligns the unseen currents of the universe with your desires. It is not simply about repeating actions over and over, but about maintaining unwavering faith in your vision, even when external circumstances seem to contradict it. The journey toward manifestation is rarely a straight line. It often involves twists, turns, and moments of uncertainty. Persistence is what allows you to stay the course, trusting that every step brings you closer to your goal. At its core, persistence is a reflection of your inner belief. When you are truly aligned with your desire, persistence comes naturally. You no longer feel the need to question or doubt the process because your conviction sustains you. This is not blind determination, but a quiet, resolute confidence that what you seek is already yours. Each day, you reaffirm your vision, re-immerse yourself in its feeling, and take steps, however small, that align with its fulfillment. One of the greatest challenges in persistence is overcoming the illusion of time. When results do not appear immediately, the temptation to give up or change course can be strong. But persistence requires you to see beyond the limitations of the present moment. It asks you to hold steadfast to the image of your desire, trusting that the unseen forces are working to bring it into form. Like planting a seed, there is often a period of waiting before you see any signs of growth. During this time, persistence keeps your faith alive. Persistence also means staying committed to your inner work. Manifestation is not just about external actions, but about maintaining the internal alignment that supports them. It is easy to waver in your thoughts and emotions, especially when faced with obstacles or setbacks. But persistence calls for discipline, a deliberate choice to return to the feeling of your fulfilled desire, no matter what arises in the physical world. This consistency strengthens the bridge between your inner vision and outer reality. Obstacles are a natural part of the process, but they are not meant to deter you. Instead, they serve as opportunities to deepen your persistence and refine your alignment. Every challenge you face is a chance to reaffirm your commitment to your vision. By persisting through difficulties, you demonstrate to yourself and the universe that your desire is non-negotiable. This unwavering resolve sends a powerful signal that you are ready to receive what you have asked for. Persistence is not about forcing things to happen. It is about staying aligned with the natural flow of creation. When you persist from a place of alignment, your actions carry a sense of ease and purpose. You are not fighting against the current, but moving with it, trusting that each step is leading you exactly where you need to be. This does not mean that the path will always be smooth, but it does mean that your persistence will carry you through, even in the face of uncertainty. Another key aspect of persistence is learning to detach from the how often. The need to control every detail of the manifestation process leads to frustration and doubt. But persistence requires you to release the specifics of how your desire will come to fruition. Instead, focus on maintaining your inner alignment and taking inspired actions. The universe has ways of orchestrating events that are far beyond your comprehension. Trusting in this process allows you to persist with confidence, even when the path ahead seems unclear. Persistence also builds resilience. Each step you take toward your desire strengthens your faith and expands your capacity to handle challenges. Over time, you develop a sense of inner stability that cannot be shaken by temporary setbacks. This resilience is not just a byproduct of persistence, but an essential component of it. The more you persist, the more you come to see obstacles not as barriers, but as stepping stones, guiding you toward the realization of your vision. The energy of persistence is magnetic. When you remain committed to your vision, you create a field of focus and determination that attracts the resources, people, and opportunities you need. This is not about chasing after what you want, but about holding your ground, knowing that the universe will bring it to you in its own perfect timing. Your persistence becomes a beacon, signaling to the world that you are ready and willing to receive. Persistence also requires self-compassion. The journey toward manifestation is not always linear, and there will be moments of doubt or discouragement. In these times, it is important to be gentle with yourself, to recognize that persistence is not about being perfect, but about continuing to show up for your vision. Celebrate the progress you have made, however small, and remind yourself of the bigger picture. Each step, no matter how insignificant it may seem, contributes to the alignment of your path. Through persistence, you align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the reality you wish to create. It is the force that bridges the gap between your inner vision and outer world, guiding you steadily toward the fulfillment of your desires. With each moment of persistence, you strengthen your connection to your goal, reaffirming your belief in its inevitability. As we bring these truths together, let us reflect on the profound simplicity of creation. Every reality begins within you. Most people do not succeed because they overlook these key steps: the missing awareness of assumption, the clarity of vision, the unwavering belief, the transformative power of imagination, the feeling of it being real, inspired action, and persistence. These are not separate practices, but interconnected threads that weave the tapestry of your desired life. Your success is not dependent on external circumstances, but on your inner state. By aligning your thoughts, emotions, and actions with your vision, you command the unseen forces to shape reality in your favor. The journey requires patience, trust, and consistent commitment to your truth. Every moment is an opportunity to step into the reality you seek. Assume your vision is real, trust in its clarity, believe beyond doubt, imagine boldly, feel its fulfillment, act from inspiration, and persist with faith. When these steps become your way of being, success is not just possible, it is inevitable. Thank you for trusting me to craft this speech for you. If there's anything you'd like adjusted or expanded further, feel free to share your thoughts. I'm here to help bring your vision to life.